you're probably watching because you have a tree collard to transplant, and this is the right video for you. I am assuming a basic knowledge of how to transplant a plant, and if you don't have that knowledge, maybe you can search out some other YouTube videos that will be helpful in how to transplant something. So the two big factors with transplanting tree collards successfully are the size of the plant and the weather. So if you have a 1 foot to 1.5 foot tree collard that has a central stalk, or maybe just a little bit of short branching, you may be able to just dig it up with your shovel, making a nice circle, and transplant it, and you don't have to worry about pruning it or anything. But if you have a larger tree collard that has many branches, or the branches are wide, so several feet wide, and the plant is more than 18 inches high, you're most likely going to want to cut the tree collard back to have the greatest chance of success. And this is so the plant doesn't lose moisture through transpiration, and also so those bigger leaves on all these stems are not so exposed to wind. So I've had the greatest success when the plant has been rained in. And we aren't always successful with transplanting tree collards, but I want to give you the best shot at it. With the weather, ideally you'd like it to be between 45 degrees and around 68 degrees, and to have it be an overcast or foggy day, or in the late part of the day after the direct sun is no longer on the plant. And you ideally would have it be forecast for rain soon, because that will really help the plant settle into its new home. This here is my trusty friend that's going to get transplanted in the video. It's well over 2 feet tall. It's flopping over. It's kind of wide. So it's going to be harder to transplant if I leave all of this greenery on there, because it's likely to break. So I'd rather cut it first before I break it in an inopportune place. By cutting it, I'm controlling basically a purposeful break so that I can move it easier, and so it has an easier time adjusting to the new home. It is in the 50s. It is not supposed to freeze anytime in the near future, and it is about to rain. So this is a great opportunity. In fact, I think it's starting to rain. And it's a great opportunity to support the Project Tree Collard channel on YouTube. So please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave comments and suggestions for future content. Thanks. Now you might be wondering as you're watching this, oh, this is a small tree collard. I want to move a 6 foot tall tree collard. Well, with that one, you're going to need to cut it back preemptively and give it some time to adjust to that. So if it's 6 feet, cut it back to 4 feet, wait a few weeks, and then maybe you can cut it back to like 3 feet and then transplant it. So a little bit of extra steps with a very tall tree collard. Also, the older it is and the larger of a stalk or trunk it has, the less chance for success in transplanting. But this one is 1.5 years old, and I think it will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to cut it back. So I'd like it to be as small as possible. It's just easier, and it's spring. It's going to put on lots of growth and recover really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead with this stalk, and I am just going to make a cut. So this has nodes on it with little buds, as does this part I left here. So it's just going to leaf out and branch out and recover nicely. I have one other main stalk back here, and I'm also going to cut that one. So I've cut 2, and you can see it's still leaning and got a lot of fine growth. I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3 more, and all of those cuts have nice buds So now we have this nice little tree collard. So first, I just dug the hole where I want to transplant this to, and I just kind of guessed from my experience moving tree collards what size the root ball would be. But I wanted to let you know before I dig here that this area is a Hugelmound. So there's unrotten material in this mound, logs and twigs and branches. So I don't think it's going to be a very big or well-formed root ball because it's been growing in a very small amount of soil, maybe 6 inches on top of all these branches. I also like to have my pruners or a saw on hand if I need to cut roots. If the shovel doesn't cut it nice and cleanly, it might be better to use a nice sharp tool. So I'm going to do my circle around the plant. This soil is actually not what I expected. It feels more like soil than branches. The Hugelmound is about 1.5 years old, and I planted this little seedling in here at that time. So now that I've cut a full circle, I'm feeling where the roots might be stuck, if there are any that are still attached below, kind of using this as leverage, and I think that's the whole root ball. So there she is. So I actually dug the hole a little too deep. I could tell as soon as I took this root ball out, it's wider than deeper, and I dug a pretty deep hole. So I'm going to backfill a little bit. And remember, the plants will settle. This is on a very slight slope as well. So now I'm looking at the soil level that was originally when it was planted over there, where that is, and where that continues with the soil level. And these aren't like tomatoes, like you can't bury them, inches or a foot below the surface. I mean, you could, but if you have heavy clay soil, it might not make it. But they also are not like a woody tree where it is absolutely critical that you plant either high or just absolutely perfect on level the native soil. So these can be a little bit lower. It's okay if it sinks 1 inch or 2. The tree collard will be fine. But we're just aiming for it to be about on grade. And then I get to backfill, and I can hand water or let the rain do it. I think it actually might be a big storm. It's supposed to rain for more than 24 hours. So I think I'm going to choose to let the rain do that. But I hope that helps you feel confident about transplanting your tree collard. Thanks for watching. And for more information, you can go to projecttreecollard.org, where we sell plants, cuttings, and seeds. And see you in the next one.